Aitil bir, and the real essence of deen is not that you turn left and right. And left and right is not about, of course, when you pray, you have to face the Qibla. Okay? But here it's a symbolic, metaphoric meaning for certain things, like when people are too concerned about, certain very, very small issues. And they keep arguing within each other. If this particular masjid is doing that, that particular masjid is doing that. No, I'm going to go to I'm going to go to this masjid of this ethnicity. No, I'm going to go to masjid of this. So they keep arguing between these things. Okay, so here Mashriq wal Maghrib, the Mashriq wal Maghrib refers to the 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 insignificant things that people argue on. When people focus too much on the differences. Okay, and here even Muslims do that, right? Even Muslims, what happens is they engage too much on differences. Okay, and another trick of shaitan, he makes us feel that that if you're part of this place or this organization, or sometimes people claim that you're part of this organization, so you are good. Everything outside of their organization, they're the evil, they're the bad. And this is untrue, right? Because righteousness, what is righteousness? So al-bir, the word al-bir, okay, means what? Bir comes from bar, which is land. Okay, land or forest. And in forest, what do you see? We don't have only one kind of tree, or you don't plants. You don't have one kind of animals. Okay, in a forest, for example, you have all kinds of variety, all different kinds of things, right? You have different colors of flowers, you have different types of plants, you have so many species. Okay, so the word bir comes from bar, which is land. Okay, so different kinds of, so Allah says just being righteous is not one thing. Another thing is important to understand. Certain people stick with one thing and they think that that is righteousness. For example, some people, they only focus on salah. Yes, they go to the masjid, very particular. But when you meet them, their behavior is so, it's so off-putting. People do not like, they get a wrong, people get a wrong image of Islam. They get a very rigid image of Islam. They get a very, like, religious people are, for example, rude, right? So some people think that righteousness is only one thing. And on the other opposite spectrum, of course, salah is, you will learn in the ayah, salah is a part of it, 100%, right? Salah is a difference between kufr and iman. It's a fard, you have to do it. But that's not the only thing that's good, that a person has to do. On the opposite spectrum, some people think, I'm a very humanitarian person. Goodness is inside, good things are inside the heart. I don't have to pray. I don't have to fast. Or I can fast but not pray. So pick and choose. So people think, and these are all from the tricks of shaitan, that he makes people think that certain actions are, only that will make a person righteous. Here, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this is why this is such a wholesome ayah, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he tells us that what is real righteousness. Okay, and the real righteousness, okay, ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر, but however, okay, what is righteousness? Allah says man آمن بالله, the one who believes in Allah, the one who has iman billah. What is iman? Iman is to know that my life and my living and my death is only for Allah. Everything that I do is only for Allah. My existence is for Allah. Okay, the definite iman by definition is what? Okay, it's iqrar bil qalb, to have the belief in your heart, to have the affirmation in your heart. Then tasdeeq bil lisan, to affirm with one's tongue. Okay, that your speech, your words should show iman. Okay, and wa'amal bil jawari, which is actions through one's limbs. This is a 3-part of the iman. Is that the heart, the tongue, and the actions, all of them. Okay, so you cannot do one thing and not do the other, right? And what supports that? We know from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, what did he say? When you see something wrong, you fix it with your actions. We can't fix it with your action, then you fix it with your tongue. We can't do that, then you in your heart you know that it is wrong, but that's the weakest form of iman. So what's the weakest form of iman? Is when a person only within their heart they believe in Allah, but it's not shown through their tongue, or sometimes or their limbs, or through their action. Okay, so it's not only lip service, it's not through only words, yeah, I love Allah, I'm a Muslim, but it needs to show in one's action. And what's the highest form of iman is through one's actions. It's not words, it's not show off, it's not in front of other people. Iman is with Allah. Okay, so first thing is belief in Allah. Of course, all actions are devoid, all actions are useless if there's no iman. A lot of people are doing good, non-Muslims are doing good, but if the iman is missing, that action is not for Allah, it's for the world, because you just want to be a very kind person. Okay, so amana billahi wal yawm al-akhir, and you believe in the and all of these that are coming from now on, these are essentially the parts of the pillars of iman, right? The parts of iman who don't believe in, you believe in Allah plus all of these things. Wal yawm al-akhir, what is yawm al-akhir? Akhirah focused. Every action that akhirah is there are worries of the world. Yes, there are things that are troublesome in the world, but the most troublesome thing for a person, the believer, is the akhirah. Yes, this happened today. Yes, that happened today. Different things happened in the day. Every person, every day, it's a big trial, actually. Every day some difficulty will come, right? But the most difficult thing is the akhirah. That should be the greatest worry. وَيَوْمَ الْآخِرِ. So what is bir? Includes akhirah, the one who's akhirah focused. Yes, this happened. This one said this. I lost this. This one disrespected me. This one, but my worry is my akhirah. End of the day, whatever I do, I have to think about the end result of this. The end result is not in dunya, the end result is in the hereafter. Wal malaika, and the person has amana billahi wal yawm al akhir wal malaika, and on the angels. So belief in the angels. Okay, how does belief in the angels contribute to it? So belief in the angels, meaning that firstly the person believes that the angels exist. Even some people deny about things that you can't see. You don't believe in them. So why do you believe in angels? Because every action of yours is every Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala monitors through the angels. They write it down for us. So that affirms that, and a person believes that if I do good, angels surround me. If I do evil, shayateen are surrounding me. Okay, so that also makes a person particular. You want to be surrounded. Sometimes, people feel negative and, they feel very depressed and negative. Maybe they're involved in actions that are attracting, the shayateen around. Okay, and sometimes you go to places, you go to houses, you go to certain places and you feel very tranquil. Sometimes around certain people, you feel very tranquil. That place, and especially places of knowledge, for example. So that tranquility comes because of the presence of angels. Okay, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given angels, and we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given angels certain tasks, right? Everything, even the movement of our eyelid is an eye, our eyes are being protected by angels, right? Every person is born, and there is someone said 4 angels. So every person is born with one of qareen, one of the shayateen, one shaitan, and 4 to 6 angels to protect that, to be with that person. Okay, and the different tasks that the angels do. Okay, wal kitab, and the book. What does it mean to believe in the book? Okay, to believe that whatever Allah has revealed in the book is the truth. Okay, the book is the one that leads a person to a good life in this world and the hereafter. Understanding of the book and action based on the book is so important. So, wal kitab, okay, one nabiyyin, and the prophets, to know that the prophets, who do we have to follow? Our role models are the prophets or the sahabas, okay, the people of the past. Okay, those are our role models because their books are done. They have done their thing. Our role models are not really people of the present. Okay, so these were the people. What were the job of the prophets? What were the job of the messengers? Was to give, to relate the hukm, the command of Allah, to show the people that there is only one God that needs to be worshipped, and to tell the people, to warn the people about the consequences of their actions in the akhirah. Okay, and what else is righteousness? Okay, so Allah tells us that righteousness is وَآتَى الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ, and to give, and to, so after, these are all parts of Iman. Okay, so if one of these components are missing, one of the elements of Iman is missing. For example, someone believes in a God, but they don't believe in resurrection, in the day of judgment, or they don't believe in the prophets, or they don't believe in some of they don't believe in some of the prophets. Okay, or they don't believe in the angels. Okay, so if one of the things are missing, okay, then the Iman is incomplete. It's not there. Okay, these are the elements, these are the pillars of Iman, right? If one pillar falls, what happens? The whole building collapses, right? So after Iman should lead a person to action. So what is the action? وَآتَى الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. The one who gives wealth despite its love. You love the wealth, right? It's a natural inside a human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a natural love for mal. Okay, natural love for wealth. But you love it, you love your mal, but you also, right? We learned previously, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. Those who have Iman, they love everything else, but they love Allah the most. Okay, and because you love Allah the most, even the other things that you love, you sacrifice in His way. Right? For example, taking a human example in our life, there's a person that you love the most. You'll sacrifice everything else for them, your time for them. You'll give them time. You'll get them the best stuff. You'll buy them, different gifts and stuff. You'd like to do things that they like, right? So this is for on a human perspective, right? When it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you can love other things, but the most love should be for Allah. When a person loves Allah the most, then despite the love of wealth, the person gives. Okay? And who deserves our mal the most? Generally, we ask this question from our childhood, right? We're programmed that charity or sadaqah has to go to people who are firstly outsiders, okay, and people who are poor, right? But here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. The first people who deserve our wealth, our gifts, okay, are ذَوِي الْقُرْبَى, our relatives, the people closest to us. Okay, and naturally, we have been programmed to, when it comes to spending, we spend, or giving sadaqah, for example, we do it on people that are outsiders, though sometimes we don't even know them, right? And people who are low, or people who are the needy people of the society. Okay, but here Allah, He tells us that, and the dhil qurba don't have to be miskin. Your relatives don't have to be poor for you to spend on them. Okay, if Allah has given you more than them, right? You make, let's say you make 60K, they make 40K or 50K, or even almost equal. You should spend on them. That doesn't make them poor, for example, but this is what Allah has legislated for us. So, and this is sadaqah Allah is talking about. Okay, so sadaqah or spending. Okay, so why should we give to our relatives? First thing. Okay, so what is a gift? What is a gift? So a gift is something, it's a way of expressing love and importance, right? You give someone a gift, you tell them, you love that person means something to you, they're important to you. What is a general response when someone gives you a gift? Automatic love, automatic gratitude, automatic good feelings. Sometimes you don't feeling that good about another person. The moment they give a gift to you, you just have a changed feeling towards them. And this is the wisdom. It's like Prophet ﷺ said, tahadu wa tahabu, right? Tahadu meanings give gifts, and that will increase love. Okay, so the way is of showing that you care about your relatives, okay, is to express through two different ways: by giving gifts, okay, or giving and spending on them. Okay, especially especially why also Zil Qurba mentioned, because generally there are a lot of conflicts between families or family members. Someone sometimes does not like the sibling or cousin or this member or that member of the family, and people think, how do I give this person a gift when they have been so rude to me? How do I give them? But that's the whole wisdom behind it. When you do it, because you learned the Quran. They didn't maybe, but you learned it, you implemented. Maybe you don't have good feelings towards them. Maybe they did bad to you. Maybe they never talked to you. They don't talk to you with a straight face. They don't reciprocate the same. Sometimes people don't give, family members, extended family members, don't even give a good reply to even a salam, right? So all of these things are there, right? But when you do that, okay, the will qurba, why Allah mentions the will qurba? Because it's the hardest. Strangers is okay to deal with. Family members gets difficult. Okay, so especially when people don't reciprocate. Okay, so this is there's a great wisdom behind it. What is the wisdom? The wisdom is, okay, maintenance and strengthening of family ties that comes. So it's just not sadaqah, it's not gifts. That's one good deed. This, when you give to your family members, it doubles the good deed, because you're doing sadaqah, number one, and number two, you're also maintaining ties of kinship, and maintenance of ties of kinship itself is a good deed. Okay, so from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, giving sadaqah to a miskin, someone who's in need, who's poor, you get the reward of sadaqah. You get one reward, which is of sadaqah. But when you give to your family members, okay, when you give to the zawil qurba, those who are closest to you, okay, the reward is twofold. You get two rewards, double the reward. One is of sadaqah and one is of maintaining ties of kinship. Okay, Rasulullah sallallahu Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu reported, a man came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, "O Messenger of Allah, which charity has the greatest reward?" The Prophet ﷺ said that you give charity while you're healthy, greedy, meaning you want more money, okay, fearing poverty and hoping to be rich, meaning despite the love of wealth, not because when I grow older I'll have so much money, I'll give some of it. No, when you love money, you're young, you want it, you have needs, you have things to fulfill. And even when you have your own things, you have your own kids, you have your own tuition to pay, you have your own thing, and despite that love, despite the need, despite the requirement, you still give to others. Despite that really shows, right? Sacrifice shows the real love of another person, right? And if you want to really show your love for Allah, it's not when you have enough that, yeah, I'll do some sadaqah because I have a lot of money or I have extra money. Allah doesn't say extra money. He tells us that, you have $10 for yourself, spend 50 cents, a dollar on another person. Now you're gonna be left with 9, right? So, but still, this is despite your love, you're giving, despite the love of money, that $10 that you have, you still spend that one out of that 10 on another person. Okay, and from the hadith of the Prophet, he said, "Do not delay giving until you're on your deathbed. Then say it is for such a person." So don't wait until you're towards the end of your life, because that money already belongs to someone else now. When a person is leaving this world, what happens? There is inheritance, right? When the person is leaving, not the money is not even theirs. It's passed on to the children or the family members or to the wife or whoever. So then that's not even their money or her money anymore. It's inherited to someone else. So don't wait until the end to give sadaqah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, so there is one dinar, one kind of dinar, one kind of money that a person spends in the way of Allah. Then one type of money that a person spends on the needy. And the best type of spending is that which is done on relatives, the closest one. Okay, what is the hikmah? What is the wisdom? Why should family ties be strong? What is the wisdom? Okay, what is the biggest challenge that usually people face nowadays? It's the disturbance in the house. It's the breaking of the house. What happens then? The mind, the soul, everything is disturbed and engaged in trying to fix things, right? And people are unhappy, people are just distracted. You think when a person is in this state, they'll be able to do the work of deen well? So the purpose, yes, of course, even when sometimes you give gift to family members, they're not going to change, but it will make some difference. It'll do some. And even if it doesn't, you're getting double the reward. You're not even spending, that's one reward, right? You give to someone outside, you just get one reward, but you get two rewards, two types of good deeds. One is on spending sadaqah, and one is on maintenance of relations. Or this is a very good tip. So anytime that you feel that with one person things are not doing so great, give them, especially in your family, give them a gift. Send them a gift. If they're overseas, send them. Do Amazon, do something. Okay, send them a gift. Do Uber Eats or whatever. Okay, send them some food. Okay, or some food delivery, something. This will really make a difference. Okay, and if it doesn't, for example, droplets make an ocean. Even if it doesn't, your deed is with Allah. Okay, so when relationships are good, are strong, there is tranquility inside. You feel calm, you feel content. When there's tranquility inside, when there's calmness inside, then outside, what is inside is projected outside. Why are people so um uh, selfish and rude? And because the inside is the heart is restless. When the inside is calm, then only what is inside comes outside. So when the inside is tranquil, then the work outside is done with tranquility too well. Even the work of Allah is done in a good way. Okay, and also when family is strong, you also get that support when one is working in the way of Allah. Okay, it is also not a great way if some certain family members are, even you're trying to bring them on deen and stuff, and so don't just like keep preaching them. Do something for them. Facilitate them, help them. Doesn't always mean giving a gift. Go assist them in something. Maybe they need help with something, maybe they need help with an application. Help people. Do help people to bring them to deen. Okay, so from the Ansar, okay, in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, from the Ansar, Abu Talha had the most amount of gardens. Okay, so who are the Ansar? The people of Medina. Okay, Abu Talha radiallahu anhu, he had the most amount of gardens. Okay, and his garden, his best garden, was called Beraha. His best garden was called Beraha, and it was in front of Masjid Nawawi, and it produced a lot of fruits and vegetation. Abu Talha loved it. When he heard the ayah, this ayah is from Surah Al Imran, okay, but it's very similar to this. Okay, so when Abu Talha he heard this ayah, لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون. You will not be righteous, you will not be you will not gain righteousness until you spend from what you love. Like وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ, same thing, right? So then he went to the Prophet and he was thinking, what's the best thing I have? And then he's like, oh, my garden. That's the best thing that I love. So he went right away and he wanted to practice on this ayah. So he thought, this is the best thing I have. I'm going to go to the Prophet. So he went to the Prophet and he said, oh, Prophet, from this ayah, I want to work on it. I want to apply this ayah. The best thing I have is this garden of mine. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him to give this garden to distribute this garden among some of his family members in need. So zawil qurba. Okay, then comes then comes who deserves our wealth. Okay, wal yatama. Who is a yatim? Yatim is a person, a child who has lost one or both of the parents, one meaning the father. Okay, the yatim is the one who has lost their father. That person is regarded an orphan. Okay, because father, man, is the qawam of the house. He's the maintainer of the house. The man is the one who provides the security for the family. When a child loses the father, okay, they lose that sense of security, right? That sense of protection. Okay, so who deserves the wealth? The one who is orphan, who had lost a father or both of their parents. Okay. And so, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the one who takes care of an orphan, he will be like how, and he put his two fingers together like this. He did with his finger actions. Okay, so he took his two fingers and he put them together. He's like, this person will be like this with me on the day of judgment. Because Rasulullah said, he also himself, he was an orphan and he took care of orphans himself. Okay, so taking care of, and also yatama, how does a person, for example, a person's father has passed away, but he has that it's a child, and they have inherited a lot of wealth, but it's still a child. That child doesn't know what to do with the wealth. What can that wealth buy that child the love of a parent? No. So as close relatives, if they are, people in community, people in this in the community, if they know of certain people who are orphan, especially other men, they should go and give that child that kind of security and protection. Okay, or use that wealth the child has and benefit that wealth, help the child, guide the child until that child is strong enough and mature enough to be able to handle the wealth. For example, in a situation that the child has inherited the wealth, some people think that the father is gone, but this child is wealthy, they're good. No, they still need that love, that protection, security, that tenderness of a father. Okay, so it's on the community, especially family members. If there's an uncle, there's a who did when Rasul's father passed away, who took care of him, right? His uncle, his grandfather first, then his uncle. They're the ones, the male figures in the family or in the society. So it's incumbent on us. We teach people the importance of for example, taking care of orphans, especially men, right? Going and being as protectors, okay, or guardians of children who have lost their father or both their parents. Okay, wal yatama wal masakin. Masakin, who is a miskin? Okay, so miskin comes from the word sakana. Sakana means to be still, to not be able to move. So miskin is not someone that openly comes begging. Miskin is a person who is not asking for money, who's not asking for wealth, but the situation of this person, in the real situation of the person, you're aware somehow, or you got to know about that they're struggling to do. They are the people for whom it's hard to make the ends meet, they're struggling, but they don't show it. They have too much honor, respect. They don't go about asking people, but you know that they need certain things. Okay, their need. So these are the miskin. Okay, so these are the people and these are the people that a person should respect too. Sometimes what happens, people try to help other people, but they do in a very rude or hurting manner. Like sometimes as if I'm doing a favor on you, or now you are in debt to me. You need to be all the time, you need to respect me because I did a favor, I helped you. Now I deserve all your respect and attention. This is wrong. When a person helps, the help is only for the sake of Allah. You're not helping that person. This is Allah made it on incumbent. He made it, for us to be good, us to be righteous. This is a part of being righteous. None of us do favor another person when we assist them in some way or some form. So even helping other people should be done in a very discreet manner. You should not publicize about another person, even in the public or in an organization. Oh, this person's in need. Especially if this person is very respectful. Like white collar people who don't like to tell other people their own struggles. They're not going around telling about and asking people, but so you respect their their sense of, you honor their dignity and you help them in the most dignified manner. Okay, you don't want your reward to get wasted. Okay, so والمساكين وابن السبيل. And وابن السبيل it means a traveler. So who deserves our mal? A traveler. Okay, and the traveler again doesn't need to be someone who is they're only poor. So helping a traveler sometimes if someone is traveling and they need, because what happens is, why a traveler is mentioned, because usually when people are traveling, they're not traveling with their house on their heads, right? They're traveling with minimal resources, minimal things. So sometimes you host a traveler. Someone has come here to attend, let's say, a conference. You offer your house to assist them, to help them stay, or you provide water for people who are traveling, or you provide food for people who are traveling. Okay, so a traveler doesn't necessarily have to be poor. Okay, but if they need some kind of assistance, then we can give our mal, our sadaqah, in helping a traveler. Okay, and then wasa'ilin. And wasa'ilin, okay, sa'ala means to ask, to request. Okay, so who are the people? Sa'ilin are those who come and ask you for help. Okay, come and ask you for some kind of help, either by their tongue or their look. Their appearance is such that it's obvious that they're in need. Miskeen, on the other hand, their outlook might not be such. You might not be able to tell from their outlook they're actually in need. But Sa'ilin, their outlook is such, even if they're not saying with their words, the way they appear or their behavior or the way they appear, it's obvious they need help. Okay, there's a difference between Miskeen and Sa'ilin. So those who ask, those who come, okay? So those who ask from their mouth and those who ask from the way they look, their state, or the way their whole appearances. وَفِي الرِّقَابِ. And who are the ones who deserve our wealth? وَفِي الرِّقَابِ. Okay, فِي الرِّقَابِ means freeing of neck. Okay, it literally means people who are enslaved, to free slaves. Okay, in our times, it could be a prisoner, wrongly evicted, someone who's wrongly evicted or has been imprisoned. A lot of innocent people are in prisons around the world. Okay, sometimes there is money that needs to be paid to free them. So that is also your money. Your sadaqah can be used for freeing slaves. Another meaning that could be taken is also people in debt, because it's as if people in debt, it's like they're burdened, their shoulders are burdened, their necks are tied, so you can even give sadaqah to pay off someone's debt. Okay, so inshallah bismillah, we will end our lesson here. Okay, because then we will go into another. So this is all iman leads to spending. A person cannot give from what they love until they love Allah the most. When you love Allah the most, then you will sacrifice things that you love for Allah from the mal. And this is very important, because sacrifice shows real love. Allah doesn't say you have extra money lying around, so you give. That is righteousness. No. What happens when you sacrifice things that you love? You detach yourself from dunya. You become more closer and more interested in the akhirah, more invested in the akhirah. Okay, so this is the wisdom why Allah says, give, spend from what you love. And these are the number one is our families, our qurba, then the orphans, then masakeen, people who don't openly ask or don't openly show, their appearance doesn't show that they're in need, because they have a lot of dignity in them. A lot of, they don't want to be going around and asking people. Waban sabil, a traveler. Wasa'ilin, those who ask from their tongue or through their appearance. Wafir riqab, and those who are. And all of this is also sadaqah. These are not mandatory. You have zakat. That's a separate category. Okay? And in all of these categories, some categories, they don't have to be even poor. Zil Qurba doesn't need to be poor. Travelers don't need to be poor. Okay? Yatama doesn't need to be poor. They can have inherited the wealth, but they're so young. They need other things. They need your time, maybe your security, your good words. your protection. So all of these things, okay, these are things that you do voluntarily out of love of Allah and despite the love of wealth. And this is true Iman. Iman is shown through. So one takeaway lesson, Iman is through actions. It's not just one type of action. It's not just one, you're part of one thing, you're part of one place, you're part of, these are all various. The whole ummah, the whole community starts from home, then friends, then people close to you, then your community, and the rest of the world. You can't make a difference in the world until you start from your closest people. You're good to your closest people, you'll be good to other people. Okay, inshallah. All right. We will inshallah end our lesson here. Anyone would like to share any reflections?
If you have knowledge, even if it's a little bit, it's your responsibility to share, and you should start in your house. You should share with your family members.
Yes.
Um, uh, we shouldn't think that one thing that we're doing is so good and amazing when we don't focus on other important things as well, because righteousness isn't only like one thing; it's a variety of things.
Yes.
And also, we shouldn't ignore them as well.
Yes. So do not think that this only I'm going to do this action and I'm involved in that and then I let go of other things. Okay. All different. This, and if when you do different things, it makes you a complete person. It actually brings out the good things about your personality too. You're involved in different type of, when you're involved in maintaining a relation. Plus you're involved in taking care of an orphan. Plus you're involved in studying and spreading knowledge. So you're involved in all different things. You're not only doing one thing. Plus you're focused on your own ibadat, which we will focus in the next. This ayah is big, so it requires a bit of explanation. So inshallah, the next part we will be focusing on the rights of people and rights of Allah, and they would both go hand in hand. You can't give the rights of Allah, okay? You first you give the right of Allah and then you give the rights of people. The right of Allah is ibadah. And a person only is a focus on ibadah but not dealing, they're good in their dealings with people, that person is not, that person is not wholesome. That person that does not come under the fold of righteousness. Right, inshallah, bismillah. So inshallah, we will end our class here. Just a few announcement. So we will be having girls halaqa. Inshallah, the date for that is 23rd of December. So next to next Saturday. Okay, so we're not 90% sure about this day, but if there's any changes, inshallah, we'll share the flyer. Okay. And and also keep giving so we're collecting sadaqah for, we have collected $600 for the water project in Gaza. Okay, our goal is to do $1,000. Okay, $500 provides water for 5 families in Gaza. So inshallah, please keep giving. Yes. Inshallah, yes. Yeah. So I'll share the details. You can e-transfer on that, and this amount is going to human concern. So inshallah, they are working on the ground. And one thing is obviously, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easier for the people of Gaza. When things keep when we it's our human nature to get desensitized easily. There's a hype in the beginning and then people start to get used to it. But there people there are not used to it. It's still happening, it's still ongoing. It's a painful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieve them of elevate their pain, and also we are also in difficulty, so help us also go through this trial. Okay, our trial of mal, our trial of iman, we're also in a big trial. Okay, also boys tajweed class is happening every Wednesday at 5:30 with Brother Qasim. Okay, so if any of the boys would like to study tajweed or part-time memorize the Quran, he can do it. Brother Qasim, he's a Hafiz al Quran himself. And boys halaqa will let you know the date, probably somewhere in the beginning of Jan, inshallah. All right, Jazakumullah khairan to everyone for joining. We will enter Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Also, the Tajweed class, men can also join, so older men. And also, they can also join men's boys halaqah as well. Okay, all right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.